Hello guys, so today's this video. So here's the article that went around yesterday by Competition Policy International saying this that the Pelicans themselves still floating at the CNN sale as California trust fight still threatening at the Pelicans was good deal of course so far. Saying Pelicans is considering rather than selling it to CNN could help end up the multi-state interest challenge to its $110 billion acquisition of War Discovery, underscoring concessions of media company may be willing to contemplate to get the trust action across the finish line. Because the chief legal officer, the FSA company, Michael Durham, said a potential CNN divestiture remains among options available to address the California's lawsuit against the combination, according to Reuters. When he discussed the issue with the Politicos California Agenda Conference, which was reported by Reuters. The possibility puts one of the War Discovery's most prominent news assets at the center of the regulatory battle over the transaction that would shape the entertainment industry, which, however, the state attorney is still seeking into it, but the Paramount's willingness to consider remedies comes as the California elected case represents essentially the last major regulatory handle. The deal has already received approvals from the U.S. federal regulators, China, and other jurisdictions, which reported Reuters. While Britain recently cleared the acquisition after securing 5-year commitments involving the programming of the independence for Channel 5 News, from CNN International, and CBS News. So, despite the highlights of familiar question and merger enforcement, whether regulators should accept the asset sales and pay for commitments to address the competition concerns or seek to prevent the transaction altogether. But the states themselves have skeptical the Paramount's proposed safeguards. They had argued because they had commitment to be released, because Paramount themselves had argued they had commitment to release the 30 pounds anyway. But it was not enforceable and would fail in any way to the merged company's ability to increase the price prices or reduce the quality. Yes, because the reason is they're not going to increasing prices or reduce the quality because this. So yeah. But the confrontation was also continued to become because it's entangled with Paramount's future to California, where the only public acknowledged that the company could consider leaving a state. Making the first to get such acknowledgement from Paramount executive after earlier reports stating unidentified sources raised the prospect of relocation, which asked about a possible departure because exactly they want to consider executives once we have obligations to shareholders that would have affected such a decision. He also suggested California's next governor would have an interest in preventing the Hollywood businesses, according to the company as significant as Paramount, from moving elsewhere. For Paramount themselves, the stakes of this didn't extend to beyond getting control of War Discovery's collection of entertainment properties, because the California litigation could have determined whether the company wants to surrender the nation's asset or accept all the restrictions or defend the interest action in the court. While the CNN sale, if it wants to be pursued, it will represent a political instruction remedy whether it would continue to simply promise governing with combined companies in their future conduct. For now, however, Paramount has presented its divestiture as one possibility rather than settle the plan, according to Reuters. Yeah. So I guess the reason is maybe the Pelicans is going to selling off CNN or not, because it's exactly what explained to it. So that's today's video. Please stay safe. Take care.